Good evening. Welcome to World Cinema Reviews. This is Frank the Vamp, and we're gonna keep dipping into Spanish horror, but we're gonna talk more about cheesy Spanish horror this time. And what better entry we can have as Las Momias de Guanajuato, the Mommies of Guanajuato, and this film is actually better known as Santo Contra las Momias de Guanajuato, which is in English would be Samson versus the Mommies of Guanajuato. And first of all, we're gonna talk about who El Santo is. In English would be Samson. Um, this man, the late um, Samson in English, I guess. In Spanish would be El Santo, which actually means the saint. Is The man was named Rodolfo Guzman Huerta, and this was a Spanish luchador, which was a wrestler. And wrestling in Mexican wrestlers, let me just give you some background. Were like superheroes to Latin American youth, especially Mexicans, and they were really admired. They had like superpowers. They were asked to solve crimes. It was like, I don't know. It was like Batman and Robin. If you were being quite, equal to American culture, and they were awesome because you could watch them on TV, fighting wrestling. So it was the phenomenon was, they were beloved by children and adults alike, and it's something that's still going on. With even today, but it was a phenomenon back in the early years of wrestling. The golden age of Mexican wrestling, hopefully, happened in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and that's it's it has died down a lot, but I just want to give you some background who they were. The El Santo, was not actually, even though his name is associated with this movie, he only appears at the end. He only makes a special appearance. There's two other wrestlers, Blue Demon and Mil Máscaras, which is 1,000 masks, and they actually, they tell this, the story of the Mommies of Guanajuato. Guanajuato, it's a small town in Mexico, and in there they have actual mummies there that were discovered, a long, long time ago, and the mummies were pretty well preserved, and they're rather creepy. They're actual, from I believe. I don't know 100%, and I would need to check the fact. If I'm wrong, correct me. But I think they're of Aztec descent, and, so they're from Native American, descent. They were preserved, and mummies on their own. Even if you talk about Egyptian or Peruvian or wherever they come from, Mexican, they have a lot of creepy origins because a lot of them were buried against their will with their masters. When you died and you were a king or something like that, not only did they mummify you, but they mummify your entire family, or your entire slaves, or everything, and they wanted to bury everything that you possess with you. So, mummies are just rather creepy anyways. But they decided to make this subject matter. Why am I talking about this film? Because this film made a big impact on me. I was only like, I think this film scared the crap out of me. It's silly because once I start telling you the plot, you laugh, but it's just so cheesy and silly. But to a child, it's really a traumatic experience. But oh well, these mummies, according to there's this guy that starts narrating them, taking a bunch of tourists to watch them, to watch the actual catacombs where all the mummies are buried, and the museum, and says that, hey, there's some mummies that were that they've been amazingly well preserved, and they're just men with masks, and basically they're in a special hole that they kept them. And one of the men, he was born about 100 years ago, and then he lost a match to the saint a long time ago, and he swore off that 100 years from that day, he was going to come back to life and and kill him. So yeah, it's really dumb. But the masks are really creepy. I mean, this is very low budget, very special effects are horrible. But I mean, they're to a child they're creepy. They're actually better done than you would think for the small amount of money that they had to make this movie. And this movie is legendary. I see comments in the Spanish community, and I hope that if you can watch it, you watch it. Basically, the movie just takes off from here. That of course, the day that they're looking at those things turns out to be that is the same day where the moments were going to come back to life, and one woman faints out of just being scared out of it because she thinks she saw one of the mummies move, and it turns out that the curse is real, and the Blue Demon and Mil Máscaras, the two wrestlers, they happen to live in Guanajuato. They're in it, or actually they don't live there. I forget if they live there or they're looking for a tour. They're wrestling in that circuit in that city at that time, and some crimes start happening committed by the mummies, and then they get blamed for it. Blue Demon gets blamed for it because it's been done by a professional wrestler, with the kills, and they have to investigate and solve the crime because the police is too dumb or too stupid to solve it. And then at the end, of course, they finally summons the saint and comes and saves the day. Of course, there's no big spoilers here. Um, it's just really cheesy. It is really fantastic. I really wish if you're interested in watching this type of films, there is a Mystery Science Theater 3000 which I adore, and there's an episode called Samson versus the Vampire Women. If you haven't, which I hopefully I'll get to review that one too. That's one of the most famous ones that's a different film where the actual El Santo is there the whole film. It doesn't make a cameo in the end like in the other movie. But the myth of El Santo was so big that even though he makes only a special appearance in the movie, it's referred to it by his name, and it's just really good. It's really good. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. It's a if you can find it with Spanish subtitles, or if you do speak Spanish, I would definitely check it out in the original language. If you watch it on subtitles, awesome. It's something that you just have to see to believe, and you see how much people adore these luchadores, this these wrestlers, and it's really a part of my childhood. This is a horror film that actually scared me when I was a kid. Growing up in Latin America, in Nicaragua, and I watched it. I think I was 7 years old or something like that when I first watched it, and I was horrified of this movie. I watched it again to do the review, and I'm still scared. I'm still scared. Some of the shots are pretty creepy. I mean, for a child to see. And there's actual bad things in this movie, man. There's actual murder and things, that are not appropriate for children. But the movie was made for children, so go figure. But it's something that you have to see to believe. I recommend that, and hopefully, if you like this film, if you want to make comments about it, I'm hoping that you guys will love this review, and if you didn't like it, also tell me why. But I want to talk about more. I want to really get to that other film, because I think that more people should know about this genre. It's Spanish. It's all Mexican Spanish cheese, and it's a stinky cheese, but it's a delicious one. So I recommended this movie. Gets definitely an A in my book. I mean, the acting is horrible. The fighting is horrible. The stunts are horrible. The special effects are horrible. You know what is wonderful? It's the atmosphere, the actual effectiveness, the seriousness how the film is treated. It's just so bad it's good. It just on that level just gets an A. So I recommend you watch this movie. Stay tuned. I got more movies planned for you guys. Take it easy, and God bless you. See you soon. I got so many other projects going on. There's more. I got more Italian horror coming up. I'm definitely planning on more Spanish, more British, more Asian. Oh yeah, I'm doing one Miss Cold versus Japanese and American. So stay tuned for that too. Got so many projects, but I'm gonna try to crank them up as fast as I can for you guys, just for you, because I love you. Peace out. Good night.